Hi everyone. So in the last session I explained about comparison with null values and nested queries. So in this session I'll show you how you can execute these things in MySQL. So first go to MySQL console and here I have already created the database with name company. Okay, so I'll show you what all the tables I have in this database. Okay, now according to your syllabus, in the company database, we have department dependent table, employee, then uh, employee, project, works on. So these are the different tables which are there in your company schema. Now first uh, we'll see how to compare the attributes which involves null values. So I'll show you the content of employee relation. So these are the different tuples in employee table. Now here you can see the row which is having employee name or the first name as James. He has no supervisor. Now the query which you want to execute is retrieve the names of all employees who do not have supervisors. That means we need to retrieve this information. Okay, so in this table only one tuple is there which matches with this condition where where super SSN is null. Now the query will be select F name. We need to show the F name and last name of the employee. Okay, and the condition here is if he does not have supervisor means the super SSN column must have null value. So I'll write super SSN is null. Okay, you can write in capital letter also. So is null and then put the semicolon. Now it is showing James Borg. So that means this employee does not have supervisor. And then suppose it is in the reverse case, like for example you want to show the employees who have supervisors. Okay, in that case just change the condition. Okay, here we're selecting F name, L name from the employee relation and condition must be super SSN is null, is not null, who have supervisors. So there must be some values in the supervisors SSN column. Now you can see 7 employees who have supervisors. Okay, so like this you can if you want to compare you want to compare with null values, then you have to use the operators is and is not. Now next is we'll see the nested queries. Okay, here the query is you have to find out the project numbers where employee with name Smith is working and the projects which are in the department and that department is controlled by Smith. Okay, so these projects you have to display or you have to fetch. Now I'll show you the project table. What is there in project? So these are the information in project and then works on relation, and I'll just check what is the employee number of Smith. Okay, select SSN from employee where last name is Smith. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is the employee number of Smith. Now we have to find out the projects on which Smith is working. So first I'll show you only the project numbers on which Smith is working. So here again use this select query, select project number. Okay, select project number from works on relation, and condition here is employee SSN equal to Smith's SSN, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so he is working on the projects 1 and 2. Then the next is we'll see the project numbers, and for these projects Smith is the manager. So how to find out or how to get the manager's information? Manager means now we have to see in which department Smith is working, that we need to get, and like how many projects are there in that department, that we have to find out. Okay, so we'll see in the department table. First I'll go to department table. In department table we have these values. Manager SSN is 88 or 98 or 33 something. So these are the SSNs. Now whether Smith's SSN is there here, it is not there. So for this we'll get empty set. Okay, if I write select project number, it is P number from your project table, then I need to take department also, then to check whether it is Smith, so I'll include employee, and the condition here is first we need to join these tables according to their foreign key and primary key. So here D number in the project table must be equal to your department number DNUM from department table, and manager SSN must be equal to employee SSN. Okay, and one more condition is last name must be Smith. Now since there is no project, he is not a manager of any department. You can see here in manager SSN column, we don't have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Right? Smith's SSN is not there. That's why we are getting empty set. But for like project number on which he is working, we are getting 1 and 2. Now the question is, we need to combine, or we need to take the union of these two, and that result we have to show. Okay, here they are asking the project numbers on which Smith is working, and he is the manager for the department. Okay, so these two queries we have to combine. So you can do using union, but if you want to do this using nested query, then you can write like this. First you write select distinct project number. So we don't want to repeat the values, that's why we'll take distinct, so duplicate will not be displayed again. Select distinct project number from project table or the relation, where what is the condition? First we'll take project number in, and then here we'll write the query select project number from project, department, then employee, and the condition is D number equal to DNUM and MGR SSN equal to SSN, employees SSN, and last name equal to Smith. Okay, this is one part. Then, or another condition here, that is project number in project table must be in, what is the next thing, we have to take the project number from works on relation. Okay, select project number from works on and employee, and condition here is employee SSN equal to SSN and last name equal to Smith. Okay, so now end this query. So you'll get 1 and 2. Actually, for the first one, here it will give you empty set. There is no value. So I'm checking, okay, project number is there in this list of values. Then, or if project number is in the result of this query. Now here, the first we are taking like select project number from so and so. So this is one of the nested query, and another one is select project number from works on employee, where SSN equal to employee SSN and last name equal to Smith. So these two are the inner queries now. And what is the outer query? Outer query is select distinct project number from project and where clause. So here the nested query or the inner query is included or it is added in the where clause. Okay, so this is the outer query and these two are the inner queries. So if you have the select from where clause or the complete select query within one of the clauses of select query, then we call this as nested queries. Okay, now we'll see the next one. Even you can write the tuples. You can compare the tuples with the multiple tuples. So for example, you want to check the SSN of the employees who are working on the same project on which the Smith is working, or his SSN we know 1 2 3 4 that number. Okay, so we have to check select distinct employee SSN, okay, from works on relationship, and here I'll check project number and number of hours they are working must be same as select project number, then number of hours from works on, where employee SSN equal to 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. So this is the SSN of Smith. Okay, I know the SSN. I'm just checking whether is there any employee who are working on the same project and they are working this like the number of hours they are working is also same. That we have to check. Okay, so employee SSN. Okay, I misspelled that. Select distinct works on. Here it is employee SSN. Okay, so only Smith is working, so his SSN will be displayed. The other, there is no other employees. Okay, If I check with works on relation, works on, you just check is there any one is having the same, they are working on the same project and same number of hours. So 20, project number 20, but here it is not specified. Okay, so 10 and 10, 10 and 10. Okay, so I'll just try with this one, 3 3 3 4 4 5 5 5 5. Okay, they're working this person or this employee, and here 999. So these two people are working on the same project and the number of hours is also same. So I'll check with this. I'll change the um, SSN here. Instead of 1 2 3, I'll write, what is the SSN? 9 9 9, then 8 8 4 7s. Okay, so these two people are working on the same project and the same number of hours. Okay, now the next is I have explained about the operators, comparison operators like all, any, right? So we'll see how to use these operators. Now I want to display the employee's last name and first name. Okay, and those employees' salaries must be greater than the salaries of employees working in the department number 5. Okay, so first what we require first name and last name. So in the select class, you write the desired attribute you want to fetch, F name and last name. Then from which table you can get these information? From employee table. And what is the condition? Salary must be greater than uh, the salary of employees working in department number 5. So here I'll write all. All is the comparison operator, greater than all. And in the inner query, we need to get the salary of, because we need to compare the salary attribute. Select salary from employee where department number is 5. Okay, so there are two employees whose salary is greater than all of these employees who are working in department 5. So like this we can use greater than all. Now if I write, instead of all, if I take operator any, okay, instead of all I'll just write the operator any. Now you can see the difference. Now what is the difference here in these two? Here you got 3 more tuples, right? Ramesh, Franklin and John. Now you check the table content and see why we are getting like this. Okay, in department 5, how many employees are there? 4 employees are there and their salary are like this: 30,000, 40,000, 25,000 and 38,000. In the first query, we got James and Jennifer, right? James and Jennifer. Now, here if you see the salary of James and Jennifer, James' salary is 55,000, which is greater than all these values. Okay, and also the 43,000 is greater than all these values. That's why we'll get these two tuples. These two names, employee names, will be fetched in the first one when we have used greater than all. Now in the second one, we are writing greater than any. Okay, greater than any. Now in that case, we are comparing with all these values. Now, okay, the first John I'll compare with this 30,000, not greater than, but it is greater than 40,000. Okay, so John will be displayed. Then Franklin, 40,000. Then whether it is greater than anything? No. Okay, 40,000. Okay, greater than. Okay. Then Ramesh, 25,000, greater than any salary. Okay. Then next is James. So like this, you have to see whether the salary is greater than any of these values. See, if I compare Franklin's salary with the first one, 30,000, that means it is greater than 30,000. Okay, so that's why Franklin will come. Then Joyce, what happens when I compare Joyce's salary? It is 25,000. Whether it is greater than 30? No. Whether it is greater than 40? No. Whether it is greater than 25 itself? Not true. Then whether it is greater than 38,000? No. That's why Joyce's name will not be included here. Okay, so like this, if at all it is greater than any of these values, then such employee name will be added to the result. Okay, if it is greater than any of these values, so such employees details will be added to the result. See here, 3 employees are having 25,000, correct? So these 3 names will not appear in the result. Joyce, Ahmad, Alicia. Okay, then the next, if I use select F name and last name, here name from employee, where salary field is greater than, select max of salary from employee, where D number equal to 5. Again, James and Jennifer. It is same as greater than all with the list of salaries in the department 5. Okay, here you have written max. That's why no need to write greater than all. Now similarly, you can find out the minimum employees with the salary which is less than the minimum salary of the employee in department 5. Okay, I'll just change this to minimum, MIN, and empty set. Now what is the minimum salary in department number 5? It is 25,000. Is there any employee whose salary is less than 25,000? No. That's why it is showing empty set. Okay. Now the next is like how you can use the aliases for the relations. Like if there are attributes in different tables are having the same name, then to distinguish those attributes, that means there is ambiguity, right? To overcome from this ambiguity, we'll use the aliases for the relations. Now the question is, you need to retrieve the name of each employee who has a dependent with the same first name and is the same sex as the employee. Now here in employee and dependent, I'll just show you the dependent table. Okay, dependent. So here we have the attribute which is named as sex, right? We need to compare employees in employee table the same attribute with this. Both are having the same name. Now how you will distinguish? So you have to use the aliases. Okay, just instead of writing dependent dot sex or employee dot sex, you can write the short forms like using aliases. I'll show you how you can use this. Select e dot first name. I want to display this name, then last name from employee e, where e dot ssn which is there in the inner query. I'll take the employee ssn from dependent table. Okay, I'll name this as the D, and here it is ESSN. Okay, from dependent D, and the conditions are like, first you have to relate this foreign key and primary key. So E dot okay, so here I'm just checking what is the whether it is matching with the, okay, already I'm taking the employee SSN, that's why no need to match the foreign key or primary key. Just you have to check whether the name and the sex both are same. So E dot F name equal to D dot, what is the name here, dependent underscore name. So dependent underscore name, and E dot sex equal to D dot sex. Okay, so it will show the employees who are having the dependents with same name and same sex. There is no such employees. Okay, if I write not in instead of in, then what happens? I'll just use, instead of in, I'll write not in. Okay, it will show all the employees. These 8 employees name will be displayed because it is not matching. So not in, if you want to check if it is not equal to any of these values, then you can use not in. Okay, now here in the where clause, it is referring the attributes which are defined in the outer query. Correct? Here if I check e dot f name, I am using e dot f name. E is defined outside, not in this inner query. Correct? So such queries are called correlated queries. Okay, correlated nested queries. Here what happens actually, for each employee row or for each employee, it will execute this and it checks or it compares the values. Okay, for each row in the employee table, it will check whether they're having the same name and same sex. For example, in this, okay, John, first I'll take John, and then this row from employee will be compared with all these 7 rows. Okay, and again it will go to the second one, Franklin, and again it will compare with these 7 rows. Okay, so next inner query will execute how many times it will execute, how many rows you have in the outer table or outer query, so outer table, so those many times it will execute. Now whether this is the nested query, here when we are selecting f name, l name from employee where salary is greater than maximum from employee where department number equal to 5, Here this will execute only once because maximum salary we are fetching, and that value will be compared. Okay, but here in this we are taking for each employee rows, it will compare the inner query. Okay, that is the difference between your nested and correlated queries. Okay, so here I have showed how you can use nested queries and how you can compare the values which involves null values, and then we have seen the difference between nested and correlated queries. Thank you.